What up, what up, what up, fight fans? How you doing? I'm back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin. Where the wall fights start? Round one. You know what it is. Let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, that I haven't been in the studio for quite some time. I've been out there in the gym, locking in, getting ready for this action. November 8th, come watch your boy, Round One Sports TV. I'm going to be out there mixing it up in Atlanta. You heard me. You heard me correctly. Yeah. Your boy's getting it in Atlanta. Border Wars, November 8th. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I've been like locked in. Haven't really been showing a lot of my footage, so to speak, and stuff like that, because be keeping it on the wraps. You know what I'm saying? Learning about myself and everything at this young age of 51, and a lot of learning curves. A lot of learning curves, my man. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to tell you guys all about my experience. I haven't been sharing it too much because of there's too many eyes and ears out there on me, man. They trying to find out about your boy. But, I'm just keeping it down on the wraps and shit. You know what I'm saying? Let him do him and I'm going to do me. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for y'all supports tuning in. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Dennis? Will my fight be streaming on my channel? It's going to be streaming on YouTube, 100% Border Wars, right? I believe, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be streamed on Ness's platform like they do it all the time because it's actually his event. So it's going to be streamed on uh that boxing voice on TBV, right? But I'm gonna bring my camera down. I'm gonna talk to Ness, right? And I'm also gonna see if I can get it streamed out on my channel. I'll just stream it live with my camera, right? And just hook it up to my channel and just stream it to YouTube straight live. I might try to see if I can just stream the whole event because more eyes is better, right? I stream my family gym. This is my family gym in Philadelphia, North Philly, Kingdom's Boxing Gym. Remember, I filmed the amateur boxing. I got 44,000 views on my stream. You know what I mean? By itself. So with Ness's setup, we should get anywhere between that 30 to 40,000 views on his, and I'll get whatever I'll get on mine. You know what I'm saying? So the more eyes, the better, right? So yeah, definitely. November 8th, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm gonna be throwing up the description more. Now we 30 days away from the fight. 30 days away from the fight. So now it's on. I had to get here to make the announcement on my shit. Because let me tell you something right now, right? You bend over and pick something up, you're pulling your back. I you fucking punch the bag without stretching, you're freaking you're dislocating your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? At this age, right? So I'm finding out a lot of things about myself, and it hasn't been all peaches and cream. Honestly, the difference between me and probably a lot of people I know my age that are trying to go back and do something, whether it's boxing, swimming, football, whatever. Uh, I think the difference between me and anybody else that I see or I'm starting to notice, I haven't quit. That's it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I got this shit all figured out. Like, like I, like, like I knew. I just believed in myself. You know what I'm saying? I believe that I could overcome any challenge. You know what I'm saying? If it's a challenge that I accepted, if it's a challenge like if it's something that's put onto you, you know what I'm saying? That's a different kind of challenge. You're gonna want to, rise up and try to, you know, beat that, whatever that is. But this was something that I took on, right? And I took this on without I haven't fought in 30 plus years, right? I haven't been in a ring. And I go and they like, yo, you want to fight, whatever, this and that and everything. Like, and I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, as a fighter, I'm a fighter. I, there's a warrior's blood flows through my veins. That's just the truth. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna shy away from that. Everybody like, oh, you trying to act like a tough guy or something? No, no. Uh, I'm a warrior, and I believe it, and I think you guys are warriors too. You know what I'm saying? If we lived in a different time, bro, I'll be on horseback right now trying to fucking invade your fucking castle. No bullshit. Like, or I'd already be something because I could feel it. Fighting is something in boxing, combat sports in general. Um, it's something that you guys know me. I can't turn it off. I wake up thinking about fighting. I go to sleep thinking about it. But fighting is not romantic, you know. To anybody that thinks that you could just think about fighting all the time and oh, that's the way you. No, 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 no. You might have not ever been in a fight. If you ever been in a fight before, you don't really want to get in another fight. You know what I'm saying? Because fights hurt. They fucking hurt. If you're actually fighting. Um, and like, but for the few of us that love the competition, it's not always about like being an asshole or a bully. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like basketball, baseball, football for me. What I'm saying? It's a sport. We compete and I fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that was a long time ago for me. Now all of a sudden, the little fire wakes up inside of you, that little fighter, and you want to take on and you want to do things, then you realize it's a little bit harder, a lot harder than what you thought. And although I might have this desire to fight and this little crazy little fighter guy inside, right? Um, reality is much different. Reality is much different, and being honest with yourself and knowing, your limitations, listening to the body, and also having fun. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do this if I wasn't having fun. You know what I mean? I'm not going in this to be a tough guy or to be the toughest content creator or to prove that I can just beat somebody's ass or fight. I'm not doing that for any of that shit. No, I'm doing this for me and for all of us, and to have fun and to do the one thing. Listen, I thought I was going to die without ever having a televised fight. I really did. I thought it was over for me. Like, I had some amateur fights. Like I shared with you guys, I got my little Golden Glove thing. I put up the article. My one of my subscribers on this channel, Naldo. Shout out to Naldo. He's not right here in the building right now, but he went to Springfield to the freaking library in Springfield where they hold the Golden Gloves, and he looked in the archives and found my article. Yeah, man. Yo, shouts out to my subscribers, bro. Y'all are the real ones. And Yo, he got the article and shit, and I shared it with you guys. I got it. I got the picture. I should blow that shit up and put it. Whatever. So, that's all I ever had. I little boxing here and there. I got a little golden gloves, little silver mittens over here. I multiple tournaments here and there, but never anything televised. I didn't. I never had a televised fight. And unfortunately, I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to admit this. I believe that I am the true definition of wasted talent. And I can live with that. I was pretty talented athlete growing up. I played multiple sports, and I just chose a different path. I understand that now. Other people took interest in me, the wrong kind of people. And I was brought up in fast life, money, women, cars, shit like that. Really never got me anywhere, you know. But I never became a pro. I didn't stay dedicated to the sport. I was distracted by worldly things. Let's just leave it at that. And I was, I try to reinvent myself every day. Um, and I said to myself, just because I didn't make it as a professional fighter, how can I give back? You know, and I made Round One Sports Talk with you guys and the help of you guys and the thousands of subscribers that tune in and subscribe to my channel. And of late, I haven't been on, and it's because I've been juggling a lot of things. I've been training, my house, life, everything. You know how it is, guys, right? But I don't ever want to abandon my Round One Sports Talk. It was just training, getting on every day, and people asking me questions about the training and this and sparring. I needed to put everything down. I needed to just step back and go handle what I have to handle without every day more pressure. I go to sleep thinking about this fight. I wake up in the morning thinking about this fight. OC the boss got me going to sleep early, and he got me waking up early. Right after this right here, I'm gonna have to go do some jogging because I couldn't jog because my foot's been injured. And like injuries and stuff, they'll like hinder your training, and sometimes you think you're doing too much, then you try to slow down, and then when you go back, you realize, damn, if I took 1 or 2 days off, I already feel sluggish. And then it's your diet and all this other shit. And then it's like overthinking or overtraining. You start to like, you know, but the one thing I really, really starting to notice, I'm noticing like among my peers, is that I don't got this shit figured out, bro. I just don't quit. I'm just not quitting. People are asking me, how much are they paying you for this? And I'm like, I'm not doing this for the money. They're like, you doing this for free? I'm like, I will fight you in a parking lot for free right now. I'm just bored. I'm just an old fighter, an old warrior sitting on my couch with no battle. I got nothing to fight for no more. And motherfucker was like, yo, we'll put you on TV and we'll allow you. You're going to let me punch him in the face and I'm not going to get in trouble? Sign me up. Let's go. Yo, I was on some shit like, but it's easier said than done. Yeah, I want to fight, but I also don't want to gas out and get fucked up, right? Then you start to realize like, shit, yo, I can't bang like I used to. You know what I'm saying? You be throwing like this, right? Because in the street, right, you got to get the job done. Shit, I throw like 10 punches, I'm out of breath. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell happened? I was like, and you start to like realize shit. The one good thing about me though is that I had experience in fighting. I do. And it's coming back like situations, because street fighting is much different, bro. Much different. You know what I'm saying? If we fight in the street, basically, and I get that 1-2 off on you, you basically done. There's not too many people that survive the 1-2 from me, because it's what comes after the 1-2. It's either, I'm not knocking you out right away. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But it's what comes after the 1-2. I know once I hit you with the 1-2 and you dizzy, I got you. It's you know what I'm saying? Them knees to the face, baby. Fucking kick your knee out, straight elbow, right here, gash this open. I'm trying to sink your teeth into the bottom of you know what I mean? That's a street fight. In here, it's like as soon as they put those big ass gloves on your hand, it's like you're like, what the fuck? Like, you can't grab them. So you're like, damn, bro. Like, you're like forced to, and then the adrenaline and the moment of him being in front of you, yo, that'll gas you out. You'll have like an adrenaline dump. Yo, everything in sparring, everything came out, bro. Like in fucking 1 minute, I was gassed. I was like, I was done. So in that moment in sparring, what I had to do is be comfortable right there. You have to learn not to panic when you get tired like that, and not just to say fuck it and give up. Right? You can't, like, when my sparring partner is coming at me like that, right? I can feel his intensity. And all of a sudden I'm like, shit, right? And you're like, boo boo, and you're blocking and shit. Bro, one sequence of that and he grabs you, it's like the motherfucker just takes all my fucking energy right out of me. And I'm like this on the ropes, like, and I'm like, shit. You forget that shit. And that's why sparring's good. Because now I'm realizing right there in a minute, I'm like, hold up. You start to realize I might be tired, but I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. And I'm not hurt. I just got to learn how to adjust. So when he came in on me, I fucking grabbed his ass. I was like, bam, I grabbed him. So I was on him like this, right? And he trying to get, I'm like this. So, and I'm like, and then they like, break. So I break, give him the big push like that, right? And you got to kind of like, I grab a big air, you let it out slow. Oh, and then all of a sudden, the shots start coming in, and you boom, and you just feel boom, right? And then the panic just drops. It just goes away, and you realize, I'm good. Let's go, motherfucker. Let's go, right? So you start like, you gotta get there. Bro. When you're there, you gotta believe in yourself. And that's where the sparring comes in, because it's not about just staying calm. Staying calm is not going to get you your win back. Staying calm is not going to get you confidence. Now you got to go get confidence, and you got to go get some respect. Because if you don't get no respect off this dude, you got to get him to back up. Right? So in that moment when you tired and everything you don't feel like you got that power, right? So you got to learn, fuck the power, just touch them. Pop, just touch, pop, right? You know what I'm saying? And this is shit you got, like, you got to get yourself out of this situation, bro. You tired, you in there like this, and your fucking adrenaline just dump like this. But you don't want to give up, man. You don't want to give up. Man, you got to work around this shit. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, fuck that. Let's go. Right? And you gotta calm down. You can't allow your emotions, bro. Fighting is a motherfucker, bro. you gotta have your shit together and the most fucking chaotic situation. It's just like chaos, right? And you gotta have your wits together. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty in fighting. That is the true beauty in it. You know, what are you made of? Are you gonna fold? You know what I'm saying? How far are you willing to go? You know? And talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. Expression, you know, to express something and to understand it, you know, now that right there, my friend, you know, you to break something down, be honest and assess what's going on. Now that, my friend, that's when you can learn. That's when you can you truly study where you're at, what you need to work on, and you must be honest with yourself. Man, boxing asks a lot from us. Oh, it does. It's a sport that, you know, when they say you can't play boxing, brother, you can't play boxing. You cannot play boxing. You gotta go in there, and let me tell you something. You go fucking around half-assing your training, you're gonna get half-ass performance. You know, and I get nervous because some of my training I had to like cut down, not do because of me, because of injuries, man. Yeah, and it's like I want to train, but because I don't want to fail. You know, even if I lost, right? Just at least I know that I did everything I needed to do. You know, within the time frame, I was on the, you know what I mean? I was behind the motherfucking gun, man. You know, the odds are against me like a motherfucker, right? The deck is stacked against me. And like I told you guys, I knew I was getting set up. You know, it was like, yo, Ed, you know, the time may be on the next one or whatever, but it's like being invited to that mafia boss meeting. You know, as soon as you walk in the room, they say that gun's gonna come up in the back of your head. You ever see in a movie, the guy's like, yo, it's a setup. And he's like, I know. And he walks, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna walk in the fire. He's gonna handle his business, right? My man got 15 fights. The guy I'm fighting, OC the boss. He just fought last August, right? So he just fought in August. He's gonna fight in November. He's in shape, right? He's got 15 fights to my 0, right? I haven't fought in 30 years, right? All the experience, everything is on his side. And when you're being set up, I know. I'm not just walking in the room, I'm kicking in the fucking door. Boom, mother. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm here. What? Tell him I'm coming. Go tell him I'm coming. Let him know. Tell him. Tell him. Let's get it. Let's get it. Talk is cheap, baby. I don't care about your experience. I don't care about the motherfucking stack being stacked against me. I don't care if you're wearing your motherfucking lucky boxing shorts on you wore since motherfucking every fight you won. I don't care, man. I don't care about none of that shit. Did you say we can fight? Meet me outside. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? What's up, people? Let me read some of your comments and messages. What's up to everybody? Yo, how y'all doing? Jesus Christ. Claymore, what's up, baby? How you doing? In the building, my man. Thank you for everybody tuning in. I gotta scroll up more because I see more of you guys started talking. Yo, what up? Um, what we building on tonight? Well, we talking about everything, Clay. You know, we talking about my fight, November 8th, Border Wars, Atlanta, Georgia. Round one sports talk. We'll be fighting. And we also talking about anything boxing related, whatever I've missed or boxing that has passed. What do you guys think about boxing? Where do you think, who's going to be the biggest winners closing out the rest of the year? And what do you guys think about the year in general in boxing? We've had some pretty amazing fights. We had a lot of superstars in the world of boxing fight this year, which is really good. Because when we think about years like 2022 and down, boxing was hurting. The big explosion really happened in 2023. That's when boxing just woke up and said, you fight for a belt, you fight for belts, you fight for 4 belts, you fight for. It seemed like everybody had 4 belts once upon a time. I think there was like legitimately 4 or 5 people at the exact same time that had 4 belts. It was crazy. Look, Josh Taylor, he had 4 belts. The Charlo twins had 4 belts. Naoya Inoue had 4 belts. Saul Canelo Alvarez had 4 belts. Devin Haney had 4 belts. I'm not sure if Usyk had the belts during the time. I think he came at the tail end. But all these guys at the exact same time I just mentioned I believe, had 4 belts at the same time. In boxing, like it was so exciting to see that. It was all the belts, wrapped around your favorite fighter, or and to see that, that speaks to dominance. The men and women that were able to do that as well. Women, females had like 4 belts too as well. If I missed anybody with the 4 belts, let me know. Who else had 4 belts during that time? It was a great year. From that year spawned 2024, and here we are in 2025. We have some amazing fights that already kicked off. But when I go around in social media and I start to look around on the platforms, a lot of people are like talking like 2025 hasn't really been a good year, or these fights ain't materializing. I even heard a fan come out on his platform and said boxing's pretty much dead for the rest of 2025. And I was like, what? Boxing's dead? No. You know what you sound like? A spoiled boxing fan. When I hear people say that, that's a spoiled boxing fan. He's already had so much boxing in front of him that raising the bar or it's like more. Are you not entertained? How could someone say in 2025 that they have not been entertained? Really? Have you even stopped to think about the fights you witnessed in 2025? Shit, we even had one of the biggest fights, Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. Right? I think that, how many times has Naoya Inoue already fought in 2000? 3 times, right? 3 times he's already fought. He's going to be closing out in December. I've already saw that, man. I saw Usyk fight twice. I saw Tank Davis fight. There has been so many fights already in 2025. The majority of the superstars have already went. But to close out the year, is exactly what I'm talking about when people say boxing's dead for closing out the. Wait a minute. Don't we have Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin the Dream Haney? Stop it. Yo, Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney, that guy. And don't we have like David the Monster Benavidez gonna fight Yard in that amazing card that's underneath that? How could someone say that there's no more boxing for 2025? Those are spoiled fans. Spoiled fans. And it's hard to impress Americans, because we see it all, bro. You know what I'm saying? To impress us, it's, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's you got to do a lot. You're like fucking American, bro. And this guy's juggling fucking 20 balls while hopping on one foot while a cobra snake is trying to attack him, and we're just sitting there like, yeah, seen it before. Like we're not impressed. It's tough. It's tough. And it's even tougher to be an American superstar boxer and to get people to come out to see you. There are not a lot of boxers that we have currently today that are really raking in the dough. Off the top of my head, I can name probably 4 or 5 guys. But in a sport where there's over 10,000 plus active boxers, you mean to tell me 4 or 5 guys make $1 million plus? Only 4 or 5 guys. No more from that. Brian Norman Jr. is a champion, is about to fight Devin Haney. Ask Brian Norman Jr. how much he got paid his last fight in Japan. Not even close to $1 million. He's a world champion. Ask Collazo. He's a unified world champion. How much money he made. Ask Xander Zayas. Ask Matias. Matias is about to get a bag in a second. And he ain't got a bag. Matias ain't made over $1 million in any of his fights. Yeah. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And then we think about this guy, Turkey Al-Sheikh. Shit, thank God for people like that. Because it hadn't been for men like that throwing these bags away. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's be honest tonight, because there's been a lot of bullshit said on these YouTube streets, right? And they never seem to tell the truth on certain things. One of them being paydays. That payday. You know what I'm saying? Brother, I don't like to be the guy that pulls boxing's card, but this happens everywhere. Hollywood, football, baseball, basketball, fucking commercial fishermen. Whenever they say that person made upwards to 30 million, 50 million, a lot of the times they're lying. Just to boost it up to get you to come out. He's making 20 million, but he ain't never made $20 million. Like one time they tried to say Terrence Crawford fought this Russian dude for like $10 million. They try to say that David Chappelle walked away from $50 million, or that he got 50 million. And, when he later on, he was honest and he said, that's Hollywood shit. We always do that. There's a show called, some fisherman show they shoot over here in Cape Cod and Boston. And some of the dudes that the biggest catch, or the tuna, it's tuna something, or big catch, some shit. Well, I actually know one of the dudes that go out there on them boats. And I'm like, bro, when I see their show, I be watching them and I'll be saying to myself like, yo, they don't pay that much for them fish, and they ain't never caught that much in their fucking life, which made me want to fucking call and be like, yo, y'all really? They like, man, whatever the TV networks tell them, whatever they actually catch, let's say they make $3,000 that day. They say triple it or double it on TV. That's what they tell them. No, you didn't make 3,000. You made 15 bands today. 15. And that's what everybody does that. They try to say like all these fights, bro. They be lying. They be lying. They be lying. They be boosting up the payday so that the boxing world, and you know what I'm saying. But you be noticing, right? Them dudes, because even Tio had to get honest when he got the divorce, right? They're like, oh, we making millions. We making, yo, when kind of find out, Tio didn't even make none of that shit. He ain't never made $1 million in none of his fights until just recently with Turkey, right? And then he had to be honest, right? And Ryan Garcia used to walk around like, yo, until Ryan Garcia banged it out with Tank. He took off, right? And that was like one of his, see, these dudes ain't making that kind of money. They never were. But they front like they is, you know? And I don't want to be the one that be like in boxing, be like, you know, but it's like I said before I brought this all up. That's how it is everywhere, bro. Movie actors, basketball players, everywhere. They always line, and then something comes up and makes, until they actually make that kind of money. And then it's like they manifest it, you know, and then it became that. You know what I'm saying? But Tio was like, yo, Top Rank ain't doing me right. Everything started coming out in the wash. You know what I'm saying? You thinking these dudes is making $20 million for fighting Lomachenko. Shit. No, he didn't, you know? So that's the thing about the sport. You know, sometimes, you know, things could, you know, it's not always what it seems type shit. You know what I mean? And so like a lot of these guys ain't really making that kind of money, you know, and thank God for Turkey, right? You know, it's kind of weird, like watching Turkey come in and you know, your spider senses are all on. Like, why is he doing this? Why is he throwing all this money around like this? And I think that, you know, all businessmen, you know, try to find that next, you know, that next revenue. You know, you can't expect just to make, you know, millions of dollars or whatever and just think, oh, I'm set for the rest of my life. The the more money you make, the more money you end up having to spend to keep that lifestyle. What are the monthly mortgage on a mansion? What is the monthly payment on 10 Ferraris? You know, I say 10 Ferraris, you know, because instead of saying a Ferrari, Bugatti, Lambo, blah, 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 you know, they're all fucking freely Ferraris or expensive cars, Rolls Royces. But what would be the insurance on 5, 6 cars? How much does it cost to maintain your lawn, your grass? How weekly, monthly? How, you know, and then your house, right? You know, maintaining your house. That lifestyle starts to become a bit costly. What kind of clothes are you wearing? What kind of clothes are your kids wearing? Right? And all these things. So you start to realize, wait a minute, I got to get some more revenue here, right? And in life with all businessmen, right? You don't just one thing, oil, right? Wait a minute, is it oil almost obsolete now? Almost, we're getting there. We're fucking starting electric shit. Pretty soon it's gonna be water. If somebody doesn't get sniped, don't snipe me because I said water engine. It seems like everybody getting sniped over that. Anyway, but flying ships and shit, oil might be obsolete in a little while. So what do? You gotta, you know, look for another source of revenue. I guess that's businessmen. You know, you just don't sell one thing. You gonna, you know, do your thing. So once I kind of viewed it like that, in a sense where, you know, you got a lot of money, and Dana White, he saw what Dana White did. Like Dana, listen, motherfuckers be lying and shit when they say, "Oh, Dana White, you know, it's not like he built something fun." You know, I'll be like, "Yo, check this out, right?" Motherfuckers be lying on Dana White, right? Because for one, Miss Martial Arts, That shit's been around for as long as boxing. Don't you go to the Olympics for like judo and shit like that? And they have in the Olympics, they wear that thing and they be kicking each other, right? That's been around for as long as boxing has. So why hasn't anybody, right? And before Dana White came into it, there was K1 in Japan. There were small regional circuits. That's been around since fucking fighting's been fighting. So Dana White came out of left field and fucking showed them how to take this to the next level. And boy, did he. So he took a sport that was here. People try to talk shit and be like, no, boxing's different because boxing's been around for a long time. But Dana White fucking made your UFC from scratch and all this other shit. Like if Dana White invented mixed martial arts, combat sports, like if he invented it, he was like the first person to go, hey, why don't we take bullshit? As a matter of fact, when he bought the fucking UFC, it was $44 million in debt. They were like, it was the Ultimate Fighting series, right? And he bought it from them. So it proves to you that shit was already here. Dana White didn't bring that shit and be like, oh, let's invent the UFC. No, the UFC was already, he bought the UFC. Dana. He just showed him how to fucking take off. He got the network deal and et cetera, and he built it. But motherfucker be like, oh, see, the problem Dana's gonna have is that boxing has already been here and it's already been an entity. So fucking what? So wasn't mixed martial arts. They just did it different. That's what Turkey's trying to try to do with this K1 shit. Boxing's been here forever. They just gonna do something different. Let's see how it goes. But I gotta admit one thing. However you view Turki Al-Sheikh, whatever way you view him, and ask me this. Answer me this one question. I'm gonna read y'all texts. Hold up. But answer me one question, right? If Turkey wasn't here putting these cards together, what boxing would we watching? Who would have put those cards together? Top Rank just lost their ESPN deal. Where would we watch boxing at? Who would have gave us Terrence Crawford, Saul Canelo Alvarez? What entity would have put up that much money for them two? Would we have gotten that fight? Would we have ever gotten any of the Riyadh season fight cards? That I would like to know. Let me scroll down. I got to catch up to y'all. November 8th is an amateur fight or pro. It's amateur masters. The one I'm fighting in, yes. Yes. What's up, James? What's up, Rocky? My gas tank, I'm in tough position. I'm working on that gas tank shit, bro. Trust me. I'm working on that. That's the one thing I'm working on. But bro, I don't want to say too much about what's been going on with me or anything. Just know I'm not quitting. I'm showing up. My username is what? What's going on? Looking sharp on round one. That's right, baby. Hey, answer streamer ready. Enjoy your stream. So I just followed you. When are you going live again? Can you add me on Discord so I know when you're streaming? I'm working on that Discord shit, right? The thing with the Discord, I gotta figure out how to like, if somebody can actually help me, if you guys can like, maybe shoot me a text on Instagram, get my phone number, and I'll call you. We'll shoot like a live thing and walk me through it, the setup, because I really need help with this shit. I'm not sure if I got to do the paid version where I can get them and then like getting you guys all on Discord type shit. Like I'm really new with the Discord, right? I try to set it up. I think I got lost. I kind of got frustrated with everything else going on. I haven't added the Discord again. I really need help in setting up that Discord thing. So if anybody out there knows how to do that, I'm asking for help. I need the help. You know what I'm saying? I can't just tackle everything on thinking I can do this. Jamie, what's up? Skills pay the bills, no matter how long you've been off. Woo! That's right, baby. That's right. Skills pay the bills, baby. That's right. That's right, baby. That's right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Mark? How you doing in the building? Mark says, pretty sure, right? Oh, let me turn that down. Over $1 million thanks to the Naoya money he made up now. Oh, well, I think Brian Norman Jr., it was reported he made $600,000 for that fight. He got paid $600 because remember, he turned down $1 million with Jaron Boots Ennis to go out to Japan for like $600,000, and he was criticized for that, for not fighting Boots Ennis, Brian Norman Jr. Now, freshly coming off at the time, he had like the interim belt, and then he got upgraded to the full status. Once he was upgraded to the full status, everybody was like, oh, right away. And I was like, damn, on your first title defense, you want to fight Jaron Boots Ennis? So he opted out to Jaron Boots Ennis and went out to Japan and fought Jin Sasaki, right? Ends up knocking him out, but he didn't get the $1 million that he was, he would have got fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. And that's why I know he didn't make $1 million. Yeah. And then I talked to his dad. I was on the Boxing Voice. I talked to his dad. I talked to Brian Norman Jr. myself personally. I didn't ask him about the dollar amount, but I do know that I remember a conversation they were having and he didn't make that much money. Yeah. And, but it was if you ask me, it was the right move to make. For one, you got to remember, Brian Norman Jr. is basically learning on the job. He doesn't have a lot of like huge amateur background. For what he's been able to accomplish, Brian Norman Jr., that's pretty impressive. I gotta give it to him. Like, I'm just like sitting back like, bro, technically, damn, I got mad dry mouth. Technically, on paper, Devin Haney's supposed to beat Brian Norman Jr. He's supposed to. Brian Norman Jr. is not on Devin Haney's level on paper. On paper? Hell no. Brian Norman Jr. hasn't fought nowhere near or has accomplished nowhere near the accomplishments of Devin Haney. Just for starters, Brian Norman Jr. has never been a unified world champion, let alone undisputed. Brian Norman Jr. doesn't have multiple divisions world titles. Devin Haney does. And Brian Norman Jr. doesn't have one fighter on his resume that is a Hall of Famer. Or like a multiple world champion. Vasily Lomachenko is going to the Hall of Fame. 2 gold medals and the youngest guy to get to a world title. He's going to the Hall of Fame. And he had 3 belts. Yeah, he's going to the Hall of Fame. On paper, Devin Haney's supposed to wipe down Brian Norman Jr. But we're not fighting a fax machine, are we? Or paper, are we? No, we're not. Brian Norman Jr. is a real dude. That's a real guy right there. And he's fighting pretty well. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens with that one. Yo, I'm definitely going to write down your username on the Discord thing. Let me not forget that, because and then when I figure this out and I go down, you guys are probably texting me, but I'm so far up with the texting. I'm going to go down in a second. But I gotta remember all this shit, because I'm gonna start to transfer all you guys on the Discord, and I want to make sure his username is what? Venom65. All right. Jeffrey, what's up? Jeffrey T, what's up? 19. What the fuck does that say? Is that my eyes are bad, bro. 19, I think that says 1993. Denver, I thought that was some cool shit for the time. What were we talking about there? I don't know. Norman just posted a new house and car saying he got them from crypto. Well, look, okay, check this out. Another thing about boxing, Teofimo Lopez did not make $1 million in the ring or by his purse. But that doesn't mean he didn't make $1 million overall. Meaning you got sponsors. You got boxing will provide a lot for you, for the athlete. You might not make a lot of money on that night on the purse, but who's to say you didn't make money on the back end on other avenues? You know, showing up to somewhere, somebody, show up to my club after the fight. We'll pay you $100,000 just to show up. Shit, that's what boxing brings you. There's other ways you will be making money, but it's all due in part to boxing. So when I do tell you there's guys that haven't made $1 million because of their purse, no, but they probably made $1 million overall or even more by other endeavors that boxing provides you. You know, without boxing, people ain't going to pay you $50,000 just to show up in their club for a fucking hour. You go to their club for an hour, they announce on the radio, oh shit, such and such is at the club right now. Motherfuckers gonna flock there. You say what's up, shake a few hands, walk out the back door, go to the next club, another $50,000. That's what boxing provides for you. So yes, Tio might have not made $1 million, or Brian Norman Jr. not have made $1 million from their purse. But that doesn't mean they didn't walk away with more than $1 million from everything else. Yeah, no. Brian probably did. He probably did. And crypto did this. You know what I mean? Whatever. Right? But that's what boxing provides for you. Yes. I'm going to message you round one. RL67. Yes. Message me. That's Round One Sports Talk on Instagram. I'm on the Round One on Instagram. Yeah, you can find me there like that. Nobody really asked for Canelo and Crawford. No one really asked for that, but that was a man, Terence Crawford, daring to take on a big challenge because no one wanted the Charlo twin to do it. Well, no one wanted that Charlo twin to do it because that wasn't the Charlo twin Saul called. No, Saul Canelo Alvarez called the 160-pound Charlo twin, and he was going through some shit, and he said he can't do it. And the 154-pound Charlo twin picked up the phone and said, "I'll fight you," and Trometió. He went and sticking his nose in business They never asked. Saul never asked to fight him. He asked to fight his brother. But his brother was going through mental health at the time. So his little brother said, no, I'll fight you, which was a division even lower than him. And that's why he didn't do so good. But when Terrence Crawford stepped up to fight Saul, it was something that a lot of people, including myself, was like, wait a minute. Yo, Terrence, this might be a little too much. And Terrence was telling you guys the best way possible. You know when a dude walks up to you and you hear some remarkable crazy, yo, I'm gonna hit this shot from, half court from over here, whatever. I'm gonna hit a home run or I'm gonna throw this bomb. Motherfucker, you talking shit. It's not shit talking if you pull it off. I've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all ain't been listening. I try to tell you I can do this shit. You guys are the one that said, no, you can't. Oh, no, I can't. Let me show you I'm not bullshitting. Terrence Crawford went out there and pulled it off. He fucking pulled it off. Not only did he pull it off, right? I don't know if y'all saw this shit. Go back and watch it. Yo, Terrence Crawford wobbled Saul Canelo Alvarez, bro. Go watch the fight. Yo, he hit him, boom, he went. Yo, it was quick. It was quick as hell. If you didn't catch it, yo, he staggered Saul. Not only did he whoop his ass, he staggered him. Pretty impressive for a guy that wasn't supposed to stand a chance. Coming up 3 weight divisions. Come on, people. That's 3 weight divisions. He fought one time at 154. He was never a 154 pounder. And he went 12 rounds with Israel. And the knockout streak on world title fights for Terrence on that night was broken. Y'all didn't think he was going to beat Saul. Stop it. Stop it. And they were trying to rob him, too. You see that scoring for that? Yo, they were trying to rob my boy, Terrence. Pulled it off. Yo, I feel like Terrence Crawford right now. The deck is stacked against me. All the odds on the other guy, right? I know what you feel like, Terrence. America, fuck yeah! Yo, good shit, Terrence. Good shit. What's up, Justin? Yo, salute, chat. Everybody, please do me a solid. If you enjoy the show, if you're having a great time, if we're having a good, please hit the like button for me. Cost you nothing. Helps out my channel. You know what I'm saying? And I would really appreciate comment on the share these videos, you know what I'm saying? And help me build this channel right here. Thank you for tuning in and all the thousands of Round One Sports fans. Yo, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. Please, thank you for all, your donations and super chats. Man, everything has come out, and it's like in God's plans, bro, man. It's like, bro, every time I had like so far that I've had like an expense or something, the people have been there for me, man. I had to buy already new wraps. My glove ripped underneath because of the tire. And things are getting costly and expensive, but every dollar, everything I get, I'm putting right back into the channel, right back into my training. I went out and I bought some dietary supplements and stuff, to try to look, I got this. I went and got this. I got that right there. And then Blood Flow 7, to get the blood, you know what I'm saying? And this is all due in part to my subscribers, helping me with supplements and wraps and gloves and mouth guards and pieces. And just thank you. Thank you for everything, guys. And please, I need more help. I gotta pay for my plane ticket out there, my coach, the hotel room, We're gonna stay out there a couple days. I want to get there a couple days early, really settle in, and guys, and we gotta eat and shit, right? So, this is costly and everything, but with you guys and my family and everything, um, I'm gonna live out this dream. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do it for us, man. Round One Sports Talk, guys, man. You know what I'm saying? We not only we talk boxing, we live it. We about that life. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can feel the energy and the love and the support from all of you guys, man. You guys are the best, bro. You guys motivate me, and some days I feel down and shit. And it just be like that one viewer or that one subscriber that say that one thing, and I'm just like back. I'm like, oh, let's go, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? I just get amped. So really, thank you to everyone that's, there with me watching my journey. Like I said, I was posting a lot, and then I slowed down and shit, right? But uh, it's because of just like all the questions and everything and stuff, and then the guy that I'm fighting, he's like watching my channel and shit, like, right? So, but uh, I'm gonna get back to the flow of everything. I've always been trying to lock down a time. I have a time. I can go on at 9 o'clock in the morning because it's usually after I already got my daughter off to school and everything. Nest goes on at 9 too, so I like to be going on in that, and sometime it cool. But I'm gonna go on my show, give an hour or two, depending how the show goes, and then hop on the Boxing Voice after that. So at 9 o'clock tomorrow, why don't you guys meet me here at 9 in the morning? I'm not ending the live stream right now. I'm just announcing that. So, I think it's good for me to also still keep my stream going, and at least, interact with my fans and shit, even if I don't go on the Boxing Voice, because they always be asking, yo, what are you doing? Training smart, right? And I'm just like, yo, dude, like, you know what I mean? I already got the pressure of the fight. Chill. Like, you know what I mean? Slow down. Right. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love talking boxing, and I need it. I need to talk it. Sometimes I don't want to get up here because I'm a little too honest sometimes, and I give out shit, so because it's just, you know I learned in life, don't bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Try not. I learned, like, if you don't lie to yourself or lie about the situation, keep trying to cover it up. Yo, address it. Address it. Let's get it over with. You know what I mean? And when I kind of live like that, so when I'm talking and stuff about what's going on with me, I really want to talk about it. And there's a time and place for everything, type thing. This is not the time or the place, So every time I log in, I'm a bit of a talker. I like to always, like, but like I said, like, I don't like to bullshit too much. I will bullshit. And sometimes in my life, I'll tell you guys a scenario or about a situation, but I might not want to give you where I was or what I was doing in my life during that time. So I'll change the place in my head, but the situation did happen. But sometimes you don't need to tell everybody exactly, you know what I mean? But you're not lying. You know what I mean? But it's not good to be brutally honest sometimes. In some situations, some stories, those are some things you don't need to say. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you I saw on like on YouTube and shit, right? There was a pastor, he was a preacher, he was on a he was giving a ceremony, right? And what they said was, in order to, to like come clean with with your life things and stuff, well, then you got to clean house, right? And you got to, make amends and tell people that you hurt them or wrongdoing. And you got to be a man of your word, of integrity. and they want you to like start over in your life, right? So the pastor calls the dude up and he's like, this brother right here has been doing the right thing. He's been and he got some things he got to get off his chest. So he calls the guy up, right? And the guy gets up there and he gets in front of the mic, and it's about being honest, and it's about making amends and not lying and stuff, right? And to thyself be true, right? This dude gets up there and he starts saying, yo, you know, I don't want to be a man that holds in lies and things like that. So, I want to start over new. So I'm just going to let you know he's sleeping with this dude's wife, and I knew about it, but I don't want to be a part of that no more. And then the church started going in, oh, bro, what you mean? And I'm like, yo, some things you might just want to keep. Okay, listen, you might want to have pulled them to the side or something, right? In life, you wanna do the right thing, and but when telling the truth hurts somebody else or will affect, there's certain things you just can't say. You know what I mean? Like that. It's not that you're lying. It's just that you got to learn how to say the story in a different light. And that's sometimes I don't like to get on and shit because you know what I'm saying? Like, I just learned that where I'm from, your tongue is a double-edged sword. It can get you in a lot of trouble, and if you say something, you better stand on that. And when they come up to you and ask, you know what I'm saying? Did you say that? You know what I'm saying? Backing down and shit and being like, nah, I didn't say that shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you said that shit, bro. So, you learn real quick. Watch what you say. Watch what comes out your mouth, bro. And eventually you're going to run into them dudes. You know what I'm saying? If you're not about that life, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go down that road, bro. Man, listen, I done seen even the toughest dudes, but just, I mean, that I said all that because that's what I'm sometimes a little bit too honest, and I'll say things I shouldn't have said, sometimes. So, but, to thyself be true, and I'm training, and like I say, I try to be as honest as I can with you guys, but not say too much. And it's all learning curves. When you hear me talk and then you hear me say, yo, it's learning and knowing the body and everything and experiencing all these things again, and understanding about the fight thing. There's certain things you got to remember and you got to experience to bring and be like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, this and that. Thinking you're a ninja up here, just because you think it, when you're not going to translate it unless you train. You know what I'm saying? And I preach that here on my channel. I try to tell you guys that all the time, man. Bro, up here, I'm a fucking commando, bro. Bro, I'll beat the fuck out of all the Avengers. But will I really do that? Hell no. Because you want to think you're that ninja, bro. Until that one day, bro, you're in fucking Walmart with your wife and 3 fucking teenagers fucking try to fucking jump you in an aisle. And not even 15 seconds into the fight, yeah, you might have picked one up and slammed them on the ground and you got the other one, but you're gassed. You are gassed. And if it wasn't for the fact that they were fucking scared of you, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're standing there like this, trying to protect your face, like showing them that you're not fucking huffing and puffing, dying. And the first 3 fucking shots you threw were dysfunctional as a motherfucker. Like, I'm a fucking Golden Glove champion. What the fuck is this? Yeah, motherfucker, you're not in shape. And you're old as fuck. Right? Yeah. What you think? That your Golden Gloves was going to get off the couch and you were going to spring into action? Wake up call. You know what I'm saying? yo, yo, hey, yo, them skills was like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Yo, you get the yelling and shit. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Because the fight is out of you, right? You like, what the fuck? You looking for something to grab and bust them in the head with and shit? Man, listen. You ain't as young as you used to. You better, you be like, did anybody film that shit? And shit, see you fucking throwing crazy punches and shit. Like, you realize, like, fuck, talk is cheap, bro. You think you can do this shit. You gotta train, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first weeks, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yo, I was so fucking like I was kind of in denial a little. I didn't want to believe I was that far out of shape. I didn't want to believe like I was like, and the thing is that I've been in a couple street fights here and there throughout the years. Uh, but it's not like a boxing match at all. At all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so different. And then you realize in the boxing match, there's no timeout. There's no timeout. Your boy ain't coming to save you. He ain't jumping in. You in there by yourself. And unless you train or you did what you needed to do, you're about to get your ass whooped. You're about to embarrass yourself, gas out, and it's going to go real bad for you, man. And there's a possibility that still could happen to me. Yeah, man. I could get in a dump and be in a world of fucking hurt. That's up to me, bro. It's up to me to see how far I'm willing to go. You know, how hard did I train? And you know what? Yo, no matter how hard I train at this age, it feels like if you take one day off, that's it. You gas. You're on the bag, bro. It's fucking ridiculous, man. And it's how could I can't say it any better but than training, bro. Yo, you gotta get through all that shit. And let me tell you, guys, something about fighting. Even a man with very little training or very little sparring, if he knows how to keep his composure and be calm under pressure, he could stretch out his cardio. I've seen it. I know that there's men without panic, no training at all. Them motherfuckers can do like 6, 7, 8 rounds. Haven't been in the ring 20 years. I've seen that happen. I know coaches that can do that. And just because he has the title coach, it doesn't mean he's in shape every fucking day. No. You see your coach at the end of the day, he'd be that one dude hitting the bag, trying to stay warmed up and shit. But that's not what got him through the rounds. What got that coach through the rounds? His experience. Him knowing how to be calm. And I saw that. So I know that there's a place that exists like that. Good training. And you ever see Mayweather and Roy Jones and all them dudes? Yo, they be in the 11th, 12th round like this in the chair. Yo, they're not even going nothing. He's like this. Like if he's been sitting there all day. Yo, it's not just your training. You can be in the best shape of your life and gas out. Yes, you can. If you don't know how to manage your nerves, if you don't know how to manage the situation, you're going to gas out, even if you're in the best shape of your life. I guarantee you that. I guarantee it. Fighting is much, much more than the average fighter thinks. The more you get into fighting, the more you realize how simple and complicated it could be if you understand that. It's like simple, a little complicated, but have you ever seen, Saul Canelo Alvarez, right? When you watch Saul in the beginning of his career, Saul moved more. As you saw Saul go through his career, his fighting style changed slightly. He didn't move as much because he realized he just trimmed fat off of his fighting. He realized he can do the exact same movement, but with burning less energy, getting right to the point, right? He knew how to disguise it better than when he was younger. To disguise a punch, he used a lot of movement, angles, and then snapped it in. As he got older, he realized he could preserve a lot of that bullshit, take away a lot of that bullshit, preserve energy, and disguise it. You see? So as a fighter, you learn the dance, how to do it more effectively with very little, like they say, real skill comes with very little effort. Very little effort. You see? So, and that's me. That's me being a fucking fighter guru or whatever. I study fighting. I've always done that. I study great warriors. I've done that my whole life. Way before this boxing channel. I study movement, the fluidity of a fighter. I study a lot of things. It doesn't mean I can do them. A coach knows a lot about fighting. It doesn't mean he was a great fighter. Not everybody has the ability to pull all this shit off. Wait a minute. Where the fuck is that little sound coming from? Here we go. I hope that wasn't fucking on my audio. You know what I'm saying? Just, but he might understand it. If he had the right student, he could teach him. And if he had the ability to pull it off, he would teach that student. He would see what he sees in his head on his student, so to speak. There's very few people that had the insight and the understanding about fighting and that can pull it off. Mayweather. Very few little people that can do that. That's like having your coach and a fighter in the same body. But it doesn't mean you don't know what you're talking about. So me, I've always studied angles, movement. Why did he do that? How did he do that? Where did he, how did he throw that punch? Like, you know what I mean? And I've always been a little fighter nutbag like that. Yeah. As I got older, before I took this amateur boxing shit, and even before I started this podcast, I started to change my fighting style, and I started implementing a lot of that MMA stuff too, because out in these streets, them MMA, you got to know what the fuck. I don't want to run into a Brazilian dude and he kicked the shit out of my shin and I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I saw those dudes getting choked out on I was, oh, wait, how did he do that? Wait a minute. You know what I mean? And I wanted to choke somebody out. I don't want to be getting choked out. And if I'm getting choked out, I want to know how the fuck to get out of that. I'm not trying to fucking get choked out. So I learned. I it's just fighting. You know what I mean? And if fighting's evolving, then I'm evolving. That's how I saw it. So here I am back into boxing, and here goes crazy ass fucking Edwin at 51 years old. They said fight, and he's like, where? Like, dude, like, shut the fuck up sometimes, Edwin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, dude, like, you don't gotta fight everybody, right? But that's what my wife said, right? And I'm like, I'm not fighting everybody. I'm just fighting one guy. That's it. And I'm doing it on TV. Just let me do this just one time, baby, please. You know what I mean? And once she got on my side, then the rest was up to me. I'm not saying like, you know what I mean? Like, I could win this fight or beat anybody, but fuck it. I told, at least I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Yo, it hurts and pains, yes. But that comes with the fun. You know what I mean? That comes with it. Right? So, you know, I try to tell her all the time. I try to tell her, like, she gets worried. She gets worried for me and stuff. And I think about that, but I'll think about that later, man. I'm too busy trying to win. You know, Brian Norman Jr., senior, Brian Norman Sr., when we talked, right? We talked that day and shit. Me and him, we were on TBV, we were on the Boxing Voice, so we're talking, me and Brian Norman just Sr., right? And I was like, yo, can I speak to your son? You know what I mean? Right? So my man, Brian Norman Sr., I hope he watches my fight, right? And Coach Hector Bermudez, I hope they watch my fight. And I told Brian Norman Sr., I said, he asked me, I told him, I said, I once heard a saying, a quote. I heard a quote. I forget who said it or where I heard it from, but I'll never forget the quote, right? And I told Brian Norman Sr., I said, yo, he said, how do you view boxing? How do you describe boxing? And I told him, I said, the way I see boxing is you are here to assist me on whooping your ass. That's how I see fighting. The guy that's standing in front of me, the only reason why you're here is because you're gonna assist me on whooping your ass. I'm gonna throw this, you're gonna go this way, I'm gonna go this way, you're gonna go, and then I'm gonna give you that one right there, and you're gonna go, dang, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's why the fuck you're here. That's it. You're gonna get your ass whooped, and I'm gonna do the ass kicking. That's how I think. You know, I could get my ass kicked too, but I'm too busy thinking about whooping your ass. If I get my ass kicked, fuck it. But hey, you're gonna have to kick my ass then, because I'm gonna be kicking your ass. That's how I see it. And that's me. Cocky, arrogant, say what you want. I think that's what you're supposed to think. What fighter says, well, you know what? I'm going to lose. I'm going to get my ass kicked. You might want to fucking try another sport, baby. You know what I mean? I hear that fucking ice skating are looking for some guys. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can find a partner. You know, this might not be for you. It's what it is. You know what I mean? It's what it is. Yeah. Jeffrey, what up? Snack. If you have stamina issues for snack, shit, send me the snack pack. I'll take it. Yo, I'll be on the live streaming. I'm drinking the snack pack, showing you, and I'll show you every motherfucking snack pack I take. I'll be like, yup, this one right here. There it is. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers act like, oh, yo, fighter, he on that snack shit. And does it pass the urine test? Yes. Well, then I'm gonna go and take that snack shit. Yo, let me tell you something right now. All right, motherfucker, be acting like, yo, Ed, if you were working out and you took PEs or steroid or snack or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're working out, you're taking that shit. Like I would be embarrassed to say that I'm taking a PE or a steroid. Motherfucker, y'all don't know me, huh? I am not a professional athlete. I'm not on a fucking team. They're not gonna kick open my door and ask me to. No, I wasn't competing at that time for nothing. Now, as an amateur, I'm gonna be competing. Now you can't take that shit. I think if I ever find out OC the boss took some bullshit like that, bro, we would have a problem. We're gonna have a problem after the fight. No, a real problem. Some real problem shit. Because, bro, we're already old like this. Like, don't fucking do that to try to hurt me. I wouldn't do it to you. Don't do it to me, bro. I have never in my life taken a PE or a steroid on my mama, on my dead mama, bro. I ain't never. But people act like I would be embarrassed or something to say that I did if I was not competing, right? Like if I was working out in my room and I got some shit. The problem with that shit is I tell you guys all the time, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't think it's worth it. Maybe if I guess, see, I'm not a professional athlete. I've never been under that situation. I don't know what that's like. But just to your everyday life, to take a PE or a steroid, I don't think it's worth it for a person like me because financially, yo, that shit is expensive. And once you get off the juice, if you didn't work out like and put something together, you're gonna turn back into a pumpkin. Yo, man, you know how many people I know that did that shit and now they look like shit? They them dudes started off 17, 20 years old. Now their bodies, they never had no foundation. That's why I think I look like the way I look at 51 because motherfucker, I worked out for everything. And now that I'm older, my muscles carried me. My entire life, I've been kind of jacked, right? There's some periods in my life I was real big, right? And then there's some that I was skinnier, right? But I've been pretty jacked my entire life. The majority of my life, I would say so. And that's why I think that I look like I look, and I'm proud of it. I'm fucking proud of it. I'm not as strong. It's not together like I used to be. Yeah. Would I take snack now? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's maintaining that shit. You know how much snack costs, bro? You know what a cycle of PE costs? And then I hear they say that if you do a cycle, you got to do a cycle to come down or some shit, right? Is that how it works? They say that you got to cycle off. And then like, well, I'm not like up to date on steroids and shit, but I heard at one time it like shrinks your balls. That's not a miracle. That's a curse. Bro, you gonna shrink my dick like my boy? Get the fuck, man. Listen. Oh, I'm gonna lose my hair. You know how many dudes do steroids and PEs and they're bald, or they get all these pimples and real red. You ever see them at the gym? Their whole back is just full of pimples and shit, right? And then some guys, his face, they get like craters. They look like the alcoholic dudes and shit. And then you see those other dudes that got the expensive ones. I've never really met these guys because I never met anybody that can afford like those kind of peas, steroids and shit where they shoot them in their stomach. Like those are like fucking big time guys. That shot there goes for like $1,000 something, bro. You think I'm paying $1,000 fucking dollars for? Get the fuck out, man. Listen, for what? For a month to have abs for 1 month? You do that if you're gonna be an athlete and you're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it's worth it then or something. Or if you're like in a big sport, I guess I could see some of the benefits of it, but uh, you know, I just I ain't never been in a position where I was like, you know what? Let me go down the fucking corner and meet the roid dealer. Steroids. You know what I mean? Where the fuck do you even meet a person like that? Like, you would think you go to gyms, but the gyms I've been to, Planet Fitness, like, they don't sell steroids in Planet Fitness, man. And in the boxing gyms we're in, I'm in like low boxing gyms, sometimes basically the free ones. Like, I'm not in those real high class expensive, so I've never been in that shit. So I never made it that far. So I don't know what that's like. I never made no connects like that and shit, you know? So, but nah, I've seen prices on some of the, and you wouldn't be as stupid as to like order some peas or pads off the internet, right? You wouldn't really take that, would you? You would trust something in a tube and shoot that shit in your ass? Bro, you would have balls, bro. You don't know what the fuck is in that. Don't do no shit like that, you know? But now snack that shit that's on the shelf. Yeah, I'd take that shit. But you seen the price of that shit? That's like $246 for like what, a month? How much comes in that bottle? So after that shit's gone, you got to pay another 246, another 246, another two. So how long is this going to go on for? And what are you doing it for? Like, I got a boxing match, obviously. So if I took it for a month, the last 30 days, hell yeah, I'll take that shit. You're fucking right, I'll take that shit. You know, because you don't take a supplement, right? Okay, let's say somebody came and I try to stop smoking weed, right? So now I got gummies. I got the gummies because I'm trying to get all this smoke out of my body, right? So now I've been getting the gummies, right? So let's say that these gummies, they said, Edwin, take the gummies. It's gonna make you give you more energy, right? And I took the gummy and it did nothing. Would you take that gummy again? No. Would 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 you go to your doctor and say, "Hey, I need some vitamins, but I don't want the vitamins to give me actually any benefits. Let me get those vitamins." Why would you take the vitamins? You would take the vitamins to get benefits, right? Why would you take snack? Obviously, it has to work. It has to do something for you, right? You don't take snack and it absolutely did nothing for you. Yeah, let me keep taking that shit. No. You want to be able to last longer in the gym. You want to be able to jog longer. You want to hit the speed bag longer. You want to feel stronger. Whatever it is that you're lacking, whether it's you want to get blood flow to your veins and shit, cayenne pepper underneath the tongue, house remedy. Most of those supplements that's what they're selling you. Cayenne pepper being some of this shit. I'm taking Alpha Gold Male right now. That shit right there. It's like see, it's I'm as honest as it comes, bro. Everything I take, I will tell you. You know what I'm saying? I told him I'll fucking piss in a cup and take a tube of blood sample the day of the fight. I ain't got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide at all. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, sometimes I don't like to get on because sometimes I'm a little too honest, you know? But I don't got to cheat you to beat you. No. Yeah, I'm older and I would like something to give me a little boost, but I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm not a shitbag. You think I would take something and fucking put, see, the boss got a family. He got a daughter, bro. That would be a shitbag move to do, bro. Don't do no dumb shit like that, OC, to me, bro. And I won't do no dumb shit like that to you ever. Like I said, I don't gotta cheat you to beat you. I am who I am. I'm as transparent. I'm an open book as bro. I am who I am. That's it. I can't say no more. I'm not Superman. I'm not more than you. I'm not less than you. I'm just me. That's it. That's all I am. That's it. What up, Low Nose Boxing? Can I talk to your son? Huh? What up? That's that snack shit. Yo, listen, let me tell you, bro. Like I said, like you don't take something because it does absolutely nothing to you. You know, whatever he put in that snack shit content, he's obviously one, it's passing. So he's not doing anything illegal. Whatever he got in that shit, these fucking fighters are living by it. So much so that they know that motherfucker's a cheater. They know they were going to get backlash. They know they were going to get ridiculed. And they still put his shirt on and said, fuck that, your shit is amazing. Without cheating. Because they're all passing. Terrence Crawford got blood work right after that Saul Canelo Alvarez fight. You saw when he came out the thing, he had the fucking gauze right there. They took urine and blood. There's no way around that blood work. No way around it. As soon as that blood work hits that lab, they will be able to determine the last 5 fucking years, whatever he ate and put into his body is going to come out in that blood work. You're not going to be able to cheat it. Nope. So Terrence, you know, knows that snack shit, it's got to be working. You know what I'm saying? And it's passing. So let me tell you something right now. It's an even playing field because if Terrence Crawford can take snack, Saul Canelo Alvarez can take snack. Everybody can take snack. So where's the cheating? Just go buy your own snack. If I'm taking it, you're taking it, he's taking it. Let's go in there, snack it up. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Round one, get some Austrian for your fight? Hell no. Hell no. Let me tell you something right now. I might not know a lot about steroids. I might not know a lot about PEs, but I know this much. If I was Ryan Garcia and I had that much money, Austrian would have been the last PE I would have ever took. There's at least 100 things way better than Austrian that he could have took. They got a PE for everything in the fucking world, right? I know that much. And I know they got a 24-hour PE. It's real famous around a lot of gyms. And I know this much about that. And I know that Ryan Garcia could have bought a PE that he could have shot at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Went to the gym at 9 o'clock at night. They give you the second one. You shoot that cleans you. All you got to do is time it. By 7 o'clock that morning, the next day, Ryan Garcia would be clean. The PE would have been out of his body. And it would have already broke down. So the week of the fight, all he had to do was not take it. That's it. So when they take your blood, right, it's going to break down to other. Now, what happens is if they feel, right, that he had an amount in his body that was being broke down to, they'll take that blood and bring it to the lab and they'll break the blood down to everything the drug is breaking down to. Like, say some drugs will break down to morphine in your body. It's not that you took morphine, but it breaks down to it. So they'll be able to see the traces. Now, the doping agency knows all the tricks, all the gimmicks. If he would have took that and they would have saw how it broke down the 24-hour one and they would have caught him like that, they would have been able to determine when his dumbass took it. But if you can take that shit and nothing pops up and they don't go for the second one because they don't see any foul play, then you good. You good. But in a world title fight, that's when all the tests come out. In a world title fight, that's they don't. You got to be dumb as fuck to do that. You know what I'm saying? Remember when what was his name? Jarrell Miller was gonna fight AJ, and this dumb ass dude, bro, he really thought he was gonna play the steroid people, right? So he goes, they test him, he pops dirty, right? So they tell him, yo, check this out, bro, you pop dirty, get off the stuff, get off of it, we're gonna test you again, we're gonna allow the fight to continue, but get off the stuff. This dumbass thinks to himself, he says, well, I already popped dirty, so if I use it again and they come and test me and I'm dirty, I can just say, yo, I'm still dirty, right? Yo, he's so fucking dumb, right? That when they test you for a substance, even a steroid, they can check your levels. They're called levels, right? And on the time when they tested him, let's say his level was 900. I'm just making that up. That's not what his test actually was. I'm making that up. But to use an example, let's say it was 900, right? So he knew he was dirty, Jarrell Miller. So he thought that if he took it again, worked out the rest of that week and got strong, that he would get off of it, right? They come and test him. He popped dirty. Jarrell Miller tells him, yo, I was already dirty last week. You guys came and tested me. Of course I'm going to pop dirty. I'm getting out of my system. They said, no, dumbass. Your level went from 900 to 1200. If you were coming off of it, your level would have went from 900 to 500. Instead of going down, it went up, which means you're not getting off of it. You're still using it. So they tell his ass again, the second time they told him, okay, we're still going to allow the fight to happen. Jarrell Miller, get off of the stuff. He says, okay. This motherfucker tests positive 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row, bro. And he thinks he was so smart. He was like, no, arguing with them. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that in the lab, in the steroid lab, whatever drug you put into your body, they can actually tell you to the second, the date, the time, and to the second where either you ingested, injected, or inhaled whatever, or orally took it in your mouth. They can tell you whatever drug and the way you did it. You know, when a person tries to say, oh, I did cocaine, but I didn't smoke crack, right? A blood test can tell you you're lying. It will tell you, just in case you guys don't know this, they'll say, you didn't sniff that, you smoked it. You didn't sniff that, you shot it. No, I only did this, I didn't do that. That blood shit, bro, I used to work in a lab, bro, I'm trying to tell you. They can tell all that shit. What we don't tell you is that we know it. I never had the job. I used to talk to the guy that, you know, them when we were in the break room. I did a different kind of job there. I didn't actually work doing the chemicals or the testing. My job was a little bit more custodian, but we talked. Me and the guys, we talked and shit. And they would laugh about it. They would say, yo, the lady would try to tell me she didn't do it this way, but there's certain things on the test that tells inside of the blood the only way it indicates that it hits you. Like if you do a drug, for instance, cocaine, the only way you can get high off of it, you would have to take it. It would have to make a hole in your heart, and it goes, and that's where you get that burst. But it's like playing roulette, they say, because you never know where that hole is going, what art it could, and one time, one use can kill you. It'll blow up your heart. There's those rare occasions where a person will try a drug just one time and die. Not even on an overdose. It's just their heart blew up. And some guys can do it for 50 years and fucking Rick James it. I'm Rick James, bitch. And I don't know why. I don't know why that basketball player, Lewis, died on the Celtics basketball court that night. It was like his first game and he was happy and he never did drugs in his life, I guess. I don't know. And one of the guys in the locker room said, yo, you're excited. Here, try this at halftime. And he took a fucking bump, went out to the basketball court, and his fucking heart blew up. I don't know why that happened, but I do know that these tests, they can determine all that shit. So if you're ever lying to your parole officer, your probation officer, or anything, if they do the tests in the building, you can lie to them then. There's no way they can tell that shit. The only way they can tell everything is blood. And then the other way, the best way, is your hair sample. But that's too personal, bro. Yo, you give away your hair to they can tell you what your fucking grandfather ate in 19 fucking, that shit is ridiculous. I hear that hair shit, but I say to beat it, dye your hair. Dye your hair. I hear that gives it a lot of problems when you dye your hair. Yeah. They tell you not to dye your hair. And there's something the guy used to tell me all the time. He used to say it was something. I remember there was a point in time back in the 80s, 90s. I'm really showing my age now, when they used to talk about poppy seeds in McDonald's or something, like the poppy seeds giving a false positive for marijuana. And some guys argued. There was a tea that actually came back as a false positive they had down in the testing lab. I remember those things. And then there was that big lady that got busted in Massachusetts. She fucked everything up. That bitch started smoking crack, bro. She fucked everything up, bro. Yeah, she did. Everybody got fired. Because of that fucking one lady, bro. It was huge. They had to let out I forget, fucking 900 fucking prisoners because that lady in her lab was the one in Boston that tested a lot of drug dealer cases and shit. And I guess the lady got fucking addicted to fucking crack or something, or whatever drugs there was in there. It was a huge thing in Massachusetts. It was in all the newspapers, all the fucking, oh man, a lot of big willy dudes got released out of prison because it's rotten fruit from the tree, they said. So, however they worded it in the newspaper, I remember the way I read it. It said it was that when they sent their drugs to her lab in Cambridge, she gave the report. Yup, this is 100% drugs. Yup, this is how much it weighed. Yup, this is that. Once she was deemed not credible, that she was actually fucking taking all the real drugs home and making fake shit and putting that in the incinerator, because they would burn the drugs after so many years. They kept it around for, I don't know, it was 10 years or whatever, just in case the person wants to reappeal. Well, you got to have those drugs. Well, when they reappealed a lot of cases and they went back to look at the drugs, all the drugs were fake. So he was like, yo, you guys didn't catch me with shit. That's all fake shit, according to what you guys got. And bro, it was a huge mess. Huge. That lady, oh, she fucked a lot of things up for everybody. Yes, she did. Everybody got fired. Yeah. But yeah, but that's how I know all this shit. I know about the testing. And I know that if you can do that for uh for any drug, any substance, the blood, then you're not getting away from the PE. Now the 24 acting PE that you can take, it's good because it'll give you that boost you need in the gym, but it's not gonna fucking, make you like a Superman in the ring. Like I said, you'd be dumb as fuck to take it on the night you're gonna fight. It might give you energy to work out and everything, but you're on your own on fight night. You're on your own. It's more like mental. It's like if you can pick this up, and the next time you go, it's more mental. You can pick it up. So if you take that 24-hour PE, right, and you work out hard, mentally, you've done it. You know what I mean? It kind of gives you that. But yeah, there's a PE for everything. A PE, an Austrian would not be a PE that I take. First of all, there's better things to cut weight with. Hell yeah, bro. It's just wait, but like I said, Ryan Garcia is probably he's a millionaire, right? And he's an athlete at the highest. But just because you're an athlete and you're a millionaire doesn't mean you know every Roy dealer in the world, or they know you, or PE dealer. It's like everything in life. If you don't got the connect, you don't got the connect. Doesn't mean because you're so and so, all of a sudden every fucking Roy, it doesn't work like that. It's real life, bro. And just because you're a little famous, sometimes it makes life difficult being famous. You can't get out there and just move around and shit because everybody knows who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? So I think life is even harder that way. And then how many people are you going to tell, hey, go get me PEs or steroids, and no one's going to tell on you? You know what I mean? Like, really, guys? You guys think because you guys got all this money that everything just appears there to you at your door? It just, hey, steroid guy, hey, how you doing? Yeah, what's up, buddy? Hey, you got some fucking eye string? Yeah, let me get some of that shit. I don't think it works that way. Mm-mm. And then you don't want everybody in the world to know what the fuck you're doing. Being famous is kind of like, it's actually harder to try to like move around if you're doing some fucking slime ball shit too. Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown couldn't fucking cop crack on fucking Boston corner because they was famous as fuck, boy. They better know somebody that knows somebody that's gonna bring them a fucking ounce for 10 grand. They're paying triple for their drugs. Being famous fucking sometimes sucks. You can't do shit. You can't do. Everybody's fucking got a microscope up your ass. And whoever you hang around with, look, and Ryan's so fucking goddamn, like he's so out of it. This motherfucker is on TV doing an IV with a well-known drug cheat, Scoot and all them. Man, get the fuck. Yo, he's like oblivious to how to fucking move. I wouldn't be on there with an IV with a fucking show in the world. That's how dumbfounded he is. And you thought he knew everything? Like, yeah, Austrian, let's do that one. Man, that motherfucker dumb as shit. I don't know much about PEs or steroids, but I know enough to know, man, I wouldn't take that shit. Hell no. Hell no, bro. It's just too much shit that you could have. Man, listen, that motherfucker's crazy. That's why I knew he was like real dumbfounded to it. Like he knew about as much as about P and steroid than I know. You know what I'm saying? Like he was legitimately on TV taking an IV, which is against the law to do. Like I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like that's how like Brian was. He's not aware of all that. He doesn't know that lifestyle, how to move, how to, That's why I was like, somebody set that boy up. Ryan, somebody set him up, bro. Yo, the way Victor said that shit, bro. Yo, that shit made me go, right? Because it was true. It was so fucking, yo, that interview that Victor Content has, I forget who was interviewing him, but it's 100% video. It's out there on YouTube streets. Anybody can watch it at any time. So I am not saying anything that man himself did not say. And if you watch the interview, you know exactly what I'm about to say. When Victor Content sat up there and they asked him, hey, Ryan Garcia said that you set him up or that somebody in Vada is out to get him and stuff. And Victor said, man, listen, how do you know that somebody didn't see one of Ryan Garcia's homeboys coming out of the hotel room the next morning, right? Because that kid right there hangs around with Ryan Garcia, but he doesn't have Ryan Garcia money. And when Ryan Garcia goes out with him, Ryan Garcia ends up bagging all the bitches. Whatever you get is probably, some little stray on the side and shit because you don't got Ryan Garcia money, but you know Ryan Garcia. And the next day, you got to go back home and turn into a pumpkin. Ryan Garcia had you out in the castle, living the good life with all the rich people. But tomorrow morning, you got to go back to your life. You come out the hotel and somebody walks up on you and says, hey, kid, check this out. How would you like to make $100,000 right now? How? All you got to do is take this tube of toothpaste. Let's say it's a tube of toothpaste. Take this tube of toothpaste and trade it with Ryan Garcia's tube of toothpaste. So all you got to do, $100,000. Don't ask no questions, nothing. Just trade the fucking toothpaste. Can you do that for me, kid? And you will not turn back into a pumpkin. You'll be $100,000 richer. What do you say? And that kid takes that tube, goes upstairs, switches the toothpaste. And that's what Victor Content said. He said, how do you know somebody didn't come up to some kid, tell him, I'll give you $100,000 to switch your toothpaste, and somebody set up Ryan Garcia? Yo, when he said that shit, I was like, motherfucker. Holy shit. You're damn right. I said, wow. That motherfucker, boxing's a dirty business, man. Dirty game, man. And that scared me. But it also showed, like, the possibilities. And the way Victor said it, bro, in that interview, I was just like, wow, big man. I was like, man, listen, bro. That very much well could have happened. And Ryan Garcia would have no idea. But then you saw his performance against Rolly, right? And a lot of people said, look, he didn't look like that because he fought Rolly. He looked like shit, this, that, and the third, right? And I'm like, no, that's not enough proof. They were like, look, when he looked big. I was like, it's still not enough proof. They said, why? I said, because you got to take everything else, what happened, and you got to add it into the equation. Meaning, This motherfucker's coming off a year layoff. He ain't been in the gym. He ain't been working out. He's going to look smaller. If he ain't been in the gym, he ain't been working out, he's going to look slower. So everything you saw from Ryan Garcia is the same thing you would have saw if you saw your normal fighter coming off a year layoff that had issues. He would have to have Ryan Garcia issues, though. He would have to be not training. You see what I'm saying? And you would have saw that. So that's why that didn't spell out drug cheat for me. No, that's typically what you would have saw in a regular guy fucking around trying to play boxing, coming off a year suspension. Right there. Now let's see what he looks like in his next fight. Right? Now, if you don't look like, listen, but you got a good cover up, because say Ryan Garcia would have been let after that Devin Haney fight and he came back in the ring 4 or 5 months later and then looked like that. Nah, buddy. Nah, you was cheating. But the fact that he came off the year with all that, and he was smoking, partying, spending some of that money he made with Devin Haney and shit, it doesn't spell out, you know? So I was like, the verdict's still out on that one for me. But we're going to find out, Ryan, if you're a fucking little cheater, you little fucking scumbag. Listen, you're a scum. And listen, you're only a scumbag if you really cheated, Ryan. Because, bro, you get no respect, no love from me if we find out, like, you're a fucking cheat, bro. You're a disgusting fucking, bro. If somebody does that to my son, come on, bro. That's my son. All bets are off, bro. No. All bets are off. I don't mind, and I'm all for it if you're not competing. If you're just at home and you're working out and you want to look good and you want to do a PE or a steroid, go ahead. That's what the fuck they're there for, right? You're not hurting anybody. You're not competing in a sport against anything. Do you, bro? You want to look buff? Go ahead. Fucking, what's wrong with that? I'll fucking sit right here and be like, oh, roid it the fuck up, roid. Right? The only problem is, in real life, I don't want my dick to shrink, and I don't think it's worth it. You know what I mean? But if I wanted to, I wouldn't see why not. If you do it, go ahead. But if you're competing and you're in a real sport, I don't care if it's an amateur or a pro setting, and you hurt my baby or you hurt me, that's your ass. And I find out you put some of that shit in you. No. See, that's where you get no sympathy from me. No, there's no. Now, if I'm on roids and you're on roids, all right, let's have a roid fight. But tell me you're on it so I can get on it. And I want to get on the same one you're on, right? Right? But it's like playing Call of Duty with fucking hacks. That pisses me off. Like, you gotta fucking hack to cheat to win the game? Like, you don't got no skills. You can't beat me. Like, up and up. You a bitch. You're a straight bitch. Like, bro, like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's difference. You know what I mean? If you cheat me in playing cards, you cheat me, but you didn't fucking do anything to my well-being. You know what I'm saying? If we was gambling, I'm fucking you up. But, there's a certain level of fucking cheating going on. But when you're trying to hurt somebody, bro, and nah, dog. Nah. I'm not going to say what I would do but nah, dog. All bets are off. You try to hurt me, bro. I don't respect you no more. I don't respect anything you stand for or anybody around you. Anybody that tries to stop me from getting to you. Bro, you know what I'm saying? That's shitbag move, bro. That's a real dirtbag move right there. I don't, and that you'll get no sympathy from me. But I'm not the type of person that usually goes with the narrative. Like everybody's bashing Ryan Garcia, but nobody's found him guilty yet. You know what I'm saying? We really haven't. But Ryan Garcia hasn't proven his fucking innocence neither. You know, you haven't really proven you're innocent, Ryan. All right? So, like I said, the verdict's still out on him. Still out on him. You know what I mean? But I'm not, I've seen where people were falsely accused and they weren't piece of shits. And then later on, they found out they weren't. So, I learned that in life. I might have punched one or two guys in the face spontaneously without finding out all the facts. I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. I was wrong. I was dead wrong, man. But the punch already went out. Now what do we do? Now I got to fight this guy again. You know what I mean? Because now I got to fight two guys because the guy punching him, he wasn't him, and now I got to fight this guy too. So sometimes it's it's not good to always just go along. Some people do get set up in life, and they're trying to prove their innocence. But my man, you're not doing a good job, Ryan. You're not doing a fucking good job. And since now, everybody's let it go and shit. I mean, what can you do now, right? Just like pay attention to him, So you got one more fight, kid, to let me see what the fuck's going on with you. And then I'll kind of like, you know what I mean? But, and you know what would definitely be the nail in the coffin, right? Which would, silence everything if they fought again. If Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fought again and they were like thoroughly tested, they're gonna be testing them fucking every 20 seconds. Ryan, you know what I mean? They ain't even took the needle out this arm. They put in one in the other arm. Let's test them again. You know what I mean? And if Ryan beats the shit out of them again like that, then that's gonna fucking, you know what I mean? It's gonna really. But one other thing I would have to add into the equation, I think Devin Haney would take him a lot more serious. Yeah. And I think Devin's going to fight better anyway, with or without, because I think Ryan Garcia rocked him to sleep, bro. I think he got him with all those antics and everything. I think Ryan Garcia rocked Devin Haney to sleep. And then Devin slacked off on the training a little bit and it fucking showed. He didn't go into the Ryan fight trying to like learn how to beat Ryan. I think Devin Haney was so overly confident that all he kept saying was, at this level, we're not in the amateurs anymore, Ryan. On this level, I'm the more superior fighter. You're a C+ fighter. I'm an A+ fighter. Wasn't that Devin Haney's fucking rant? I'm an A+ fighter. You're a C+ fighter. I think he rocked Devin to sleep. Devin fucked up. Yeah. But if they fight again, I think the fight will be a lot more interesting. But I think Devin Haney would fight him regardless of anything. I think he would fight him a lot more prepared, Devin. And I think it would be a different fight. Whether or not Ryan wins or Devin, that I would have to see. Speaking of Devin Haney with this Brian Norman Jr. shit, like I said, Devin Haney's supposed to beat Brian Norman Jr., bro, on paper. He's supposed to beat him outright. On paper, Brian Norman Jr. shouldn't even be in the ring with him. Who the hell has Brian Norman Jr. fought that you can say, yup, that guy right there would beat the shit out of Devin Haney? Who? What guys did he beat would beat Devin Haney? Just one. Any of those guys. He has not fought a guy like Devin Haney. And if you're thinking, oh, Brian Norman Jr. got that power, he gonna hurt Devin Haney, Devin Haney's not Jin. You're not gonna catch Devin Haney the way he caught that Japanese dude. Fuck out of here. Devin Haney's way more seasoned than that. He might have been a runner right now, a little track star. Ryan Garcia might have fucking did something to Devin Haney. But Devin Haney is way better fighter than that Jin dude. Yeah. Hell yeah. And Devin Haney, you see, in this fight, the one thing Devin Haney has is experience. He's fought better fighters. Devin, he has good experience, and he showed in the Ryan Garcia fight. He knows how to survive. He knows how he's been battle tested, and he knows how to persevere. He's been down in fights. He got up in the fight, and he continued. Not only was he knocked down once in the fight, he was knocked down multiple times in the fight. And to do that and to get up and still fight, Devin didn't do as bad as people think. Tell you the truth, he won a lot of rounds. For as ugly as his performance looked, Devin's, he was in that fight. Had it not been for those knockdowns, as many as they was, he might win that fight. Say Ryan Garcia only gets credit for one knockdown or two. Give him two knockdowns. Just give him credit for two. Ryan Garcia loses that fight. You guys do know that, right? He loses the fight. If Ryan didn't get credit for those knockdowns, he basically took all the other rounds off and just let Devin Haney punch him in the back. Ryan Garcia was gassed in that fight. Go back and watch it. Devin won the majority of the rounds. I'm trying to tell you, if it wasn't for the knockdowns, Devin wins the fight. For as many as what would they give him credit for? 3 knockdowns, 4 knockdowns? That's 10-8 rounds. That's basically 2 rounds every time get the if Devin didn't fucking take as many knockdowns, he wins the fight. He actually wins the fight. For as ugly as it was, like the way the performance, you know what I'm saying? But he wins it. Yeah. What's up, Richard? CYP, man, I ain't fucking with that dude, bro. He just he need me to be hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you got to get on the panel and fight with every guest? Like, CYP, like, my man is like delusional and shit, right? Like, motherfucker, I don't know you. You know what I mean? Try to act like, like. So, CYP, he's something else, though. He's all right. He's all right as a dude, you know what I'm saying? I see his little angle and shit, but I didn't get on the show to start an argument or fight with everybody on the show. You know what I'm saying? I already got my fight. Let me concentrate on the guy I'm fighting. If it was him first, it would have been CYP first. It really doesn't matter for me. But CYP got me on age, though. They saying, like, I guess there's an age discrepancy where they wouldn't let us fight anyway because it's an 11-year gap. So under the amateur, I couldn't fight him anyway. A sanctioned fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. So, like, I think he might have knew that because I didn't know that until Ness said it. I didn't know that there was a age gap, but he's been fighting on there or whatever. And then he acts like a killer, right? He acts like he's like God's gift to fucking boxing. And if you only knew he had one fight and he quit in the fight and he lost, he's acting like he knocked out 10 people. He's just a destructing force and that TBV can't live without him on Boxing Border Wars. And then when you look him up, you realize you only had one fight and you quit. How the fuck do you, like, the dude, like, straight tapped, right? And I'm just like, Anyway, on to the next. You know what I mean? I already got what I'm doing. I got my food. Go get yours. Go get you. He just need people that is hot so that he can get on the, you know what I'm saying? He trying to get on my fucking, in my car. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm round one. I'm up on the panel. I'm killing it. And he ain't doing shit. So, you know, he just trying to get up on the motherfucking whip and shit. I ain't fucking with dude. You know, you don't pay attention to dudes like that. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, man, yeah, man. Listen, love you guys. Like the video. That's what's up, baby. Thank you for liking the video. Yo, guys, please hit that like button for me, guys. You know what I'm saying? Really helps the channel. So, this is the plan. Getting up tomorrow morning. Gonna go work out a little bit. Gotta get in there. We gotta lock in these last 30 days, baby. We gotta lock it in. So listen, fight fans, thank you for rocking out with me. Thank you for talking tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna look up some of the topics and things that we have missed in boxing. We'll have a lot of boxing to talk to. We got a lot of boxing to catch up with. So thank you for tuning in here, guys. Right here at Round One Sports Talk. We have the rest of the 2025 year is coming to a close. We got a lot of big boxing. Can't wait for that stuff. But we also have the greatest boxing match to ever be witnessed in a ring. That's right. November 8th, you will see Round One Sports Talk. That is me, myself. You know what I mean? You know who I am. You know who I am. Round One Sports Talk. Edwin, your boy, will be in Atlanta, Georgia, November 8th. His opponent, or victim, should I say, is OC the Boss, and he's coming for the throne. And I got to tell you, I'm excited. I'm a little excited. All right? Wait a minute. I'm going to go get my uncle. He has a few words. Hold on. Uncle, yo, go have a few words with the people. Hey, let me tell you something. Is this on? Is this on over here? Huh? Can I tell you something right now? OC the Boss, you're gonna fight my nephew? You're gonna fight round one? He's gonna kick your fucking ass. You know why? Because he's in the gym and he's training real hard, okay? And he's coming with that Puerto Rican thunder, okay? The Puerto Rican power, right? It's gonna be in the building. And you know what? What are you gonna do when the Puerto Rican power comes for you, OC the Boss? Let me tell you something, OC the Boss, okay? You're gonna fight my nephew. My nephew's gonna fight you, okay? And he's gonna come for you. Don't you run. Don't you run, OC the Boss. Don't you run for my nephew, okay? Because he's got a tremendous right hook and a left hook for you, and he's coming for you, okay? November 8th, OC the Boss, you're going down. He's going to bring you the pain. He's going to bring you the pain, okay? Nephew, come over here and tell this guy, don't you run for my nephew, OC. He's coming for you. There you have it, folks. My uncle was in the building. He speaks no lies. He speaks no lies. He tells the truth. He tells the truth. He's going to be helping me out. OC the Boss, we coming. We coming. November 8th, Atlanta, Georgia. Be there. Don't you fucking run for me neither. Don't you run for me. I fight fans, and I'm out. I'm on to the next one. After this one, here at Round One Sports Talk, y'all been the best. And I'm out. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and become a Round One Sports Talk member. I will see you guys in the morning. Mañana. Peace. Love you too, one. My man.